So the con
So, SpongeBob theory. The Neptune theory. What about him?
so the continuity with King Neptune is a bit of a mess. There are two different King Neptunes. There's a King Poseidon.
I noticed
three
that.
different royal palaces. Two of them are called the City of Atlantis, but there's also a third unrelated City of Atlantis. It's
Nice.
confusing to say the least. But there is actually a way to explain how all of this is intentional and connects together. This is a story of power, deception, and betrayal. This is the Neptune theory.
Let's hop in. What's good, bro?
That was
That boy around.
probably nothing.
What's happening on, man? It's popping. Oh, I gotta post it. Hold on. How you been?
There's no tension. The
Nigga, we watching SpongeBob theory. Goddamn Neptune.
pacing is slow. It fundamentally fails as a film. Alex, go back to making SpongeBob theory videos. No one wants to
Alex,
see
I'm sick of
you.
hearing about your real life, bro. You know, you cool and all, you know what I'm saying? But watch out, money. Let's get to it.
Theory.
On Instagram or
King
Discord?
Neptune is the
You know I
ruler
don't
of
be
the
having that
seven
open.
seas and the Roman god of the ocean. If you watch my evolution theory, you know there's also a good chance he's the reason why fish in Bikini Bottom are so evolved and able to talk. He lives in the city of Atlantis with his
SpongeBob.
wife Queen Amphitrite and his son Triton. But in the first SpongeBob movie, he's replaced by a completely different King
I've been
Neptune
tapped in,
who
bro.
has
I'm
a
baptized.
completely different
Good.
daughter
Nigga,
named
good.
Lily. These guys don't look or sound at all the same, so
Fuck,
how can they
let's-
both
let's
exist
get
in
it,
this
right?
universe? Well, there's already an interesting
Trust the
theory
Lord,
out there
man.
about this. It's widely believed that the SpongeBob movie takes place in the future after the events of the show. So widely believed that I got hundreds of comments about it in my Mrs. Puff theory. Yep, I know, guys. I heard what you said. The creator of SpongeBob, Steven Hillenburg, said he wanted to end the series.
I don't want to hear about the
And it
creator,
being
bro. The
canonically
creators
at the end
be
of the
freaked out.
SpongeBob
You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to
timeline,
joke.
would
You know what
explain
I'm
why we never
saying?
see the Krusty
We done
Krab
seen the
2 or
iCarly
any of
dance.
the other characters from the movie in the later SpongeBob episodes. And some people believe that the reason why movie Neptune is so different is because he's actually Neptune's son, Triton, all grown up. And that's
What?
a pretty cool theory, but I don't
No,
buy it.
I ain't
Other
buy
than
it.
Triton looking nothing like movie Neptune, I've never actually believed that the SpongeBob movie takes place in the future. Despite there being many people who commented about it on my Mrs. Puff theory as if it was a proven fact,
close.
there's never actually been any official confirmation of it. Steven Hillenburg only said that he wanted to stop making SpongeBob after the movie. He never said anything about where the movie actually takes
Hey, yo, you
place
can
in the
DM me
timeline
anytime,
of
bro.
the
My
show.
fault.
And
I don't know
we
why I
do
didn't see it.
actually briefly see Neptune's daughter Mindy show up later in the show in SpongeBob's Big Birthday Blowout. There's no way she'd be there unless the show took place
There you go.
after the events of the movie. I think what's actually going on here with Neptune is something
Oh,
much more
Neptune.
interesting, and it ties directly
Yo.
in.
Why was this nigga need to explain why there's 3 different Neptunes, yo? Like, I mean, he gonna explain it, but like this nigga, he always make me mad, bro. I hope every time he feels insecure that he takes off that little cap that he got. You know what I'm saying? That little
Going
shiny
on
little
here with
dome he
Neptune
got.
is something much
wanna
more
rub it,
interesting,
you know,
and it ties directly
squeaky
in
clean.
with
Wash
the
on, wax
television
oil.
theory. If you haven't seen that video,
Miyagi,
it
whatever that
basically
nigga
proves
said.
that the entire show SpongeBob SquarePants is actually a nature documentary being filmed by scuba divers, and many of the elements we see throughout the series
I like
are
the buff
secretly set
Neptune.
up by the showrunners to make sure that
That
the
nigga
show
that's-
is more
that was
entertaining
cooked in all
and
Krabby
profitable.
Patties like
and
crack.
this applies to the SpongeBob movie as well. There's promotional art and even a commercial that acknowledges the fact that it's just a movie being filmed.
Which is so crazy.
SpongeBob, what kind of jellyfish is that?
Hey guys, it's Carlos from the Zone. Can you tell us about your latest adventure?
Well, this one adventure we had was a real Lulu.
You mean when we went after Neptune's crown? It seemed bigger than our
That's
usual.
what I'm saying, bro.
Yes, and with fewer interruptions.
Well, thanks guys.
That's a nasty nigga though. You remember that episode when he bit into that Krabby Patty, he spit it
I
out,
think
chewed it
the
up, you know what I'm
real
saying,
reason
and ate
why
it again?
Neptune
Oh
looks
my
so different
god.
in the movie is because the filmmakers couldn't get
You
the
would think
real
that nigga
king,
never, this
the
nigga,
literal
you would think he
god
never
of
had
the
a had
sea to show
a
up for
taste
a
of food in
movie.
his life.
So they hired an actor to pretend to be the king, and there is
Oh.
actually a ton of evidence in the show to support this.
So what
King
happened to him?
Neptune is supposed to live in the great city of Atlantis, but in the movie he just lives in some
freaked out.
random sandcastle, almost like they just built a discount version for the movie. But the real evidence comes from season 10, episode 18, Lost and Found, where
Hey, what's your nigga? What's your name? Alex Bell. How do you be finding these? How do you know this, bro? How much episodes? This nigga just be had it like kicked up in his bed, feet up, just watching SpongeBob all day, chilling. That's the lifestyle. And he making bread
SpongeBob
off this
goes
too.
beneath the Krusty Krab to look
Let
for
me research.
something in the lost and found. As he searches
That
through
nigga be
this
twiddling his
surprisingly
toes in
massive
bed.
collection of items, on one of the shelves, we see something mind-blowing. The crown worn by King Neptune in the SpongeBob movie.
So what that mean?
The entire plot of the movie hinges on the fact that Neptune thinks Mr. Krabs stole his crown. Why would Mr. Krabs have this now? Because this isn't just the Krusty Krabs lost and found. It's also where they store the props used by the SpongeBob SquarePants filmmakers to create the SpongeBob movie. If you remember from my
Yo.
television theory,
So Mr. Krabs typed in?
was secretly working for the showrunners to spy on all the main
I
characters.
forgot.
And his secret surveillance room was hidden beneath the Krusty Krab, just
all
like this lost
connects,
and
yo.
found. So it makes perfect sense for the showrunners to hide their props down here. And if you still don't believe me, we also see SpongeBob's guitar, the Goofy Goober peanut hats, and the magical bag of wind. All items from the movie that would make no sense being down here unless this was the showrunners' prop storage, and the movie King Neptune was just an actor. Well,
I
that's
knew
one
it, bro.
Neptune
That
down.
fat
Now for
fraud.
the real mystery.
Ain't no way King Neptune gonna be that
Poseidon.
insecure over the bald head, bro. If King Neptune go bald, people gonna respect that he going bald, and he gonna see that shiny. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't gonna cook, bro, about it. You ain't gonna be like bald in his face. That's King Neptune. That other, that nigga, whoever that other nigga was with, you know what I'm saying? King Neptune ain't got like no insecurities. That's a king. What you talking about?
In the third SpongeBob movie, Sponge on the Run, the King of the Sea is yet again
I've
replaced
never
by
seen
a
this
new
movie.
character, King Poseidon, the Greek god of the
This that
ocean.
new shit,
He
that new
actually
stuff.
does live in the city of Atlantis, except instead of the ancient royal architecture, it's a giant casino designed to make money. It'd be easy to say that these are just two separate kings that rule different areas of the sea, but they both claim to be the ruler of the seven seas. So how can two different
I
characters
know, right?
both
Like,
be
it's
the
not even the
king
same
of
animation.
seven seas? The answer to that question actually has to do with a place called Camp Coral. Throughout the third SpongeBob movie, we keep cutting back to flashbacks of a younger SpongeBob
They
and
don't
all
look
the
bad,
other
but, like,
characters when they all
what?
went to summer camp together. This was all to set
Young
up a
Squiddy.
spin-off show called Camp Coral that followed these younger characters. Now, at first,
Yeah,
I just
I
wrote the
don't
show
know
off
what's
as
going on.
SpongeBob following the trend of making all their characters younger to appeal to a younger demographic.
Why do they
It's
do
been
that?
done before, and
Why do they do that every time? Every show that we grow up with is. I mean, like you said, to appeal to a younger audience, but you ain't gotta do that, bro. Because when we was kids, we was watching the same thing. We was watching older. You feel me? It just look weird, like they trying to make it look realistic. True. I don't know. I guess so.
the trend of making all their characers younger.
I don't think
to
it looked
appeal to
bad.
a
It's just
younger
like, why do they-
demographic. It's been done before, and it's never very
when we was
good.
kids, we was
They
watching
also
the older
completely contradict the continuity of the main
cartoons.
show by
That's what was
having
cool.
characters like Sandy and SpongeBob meet as kids when we know they actually met as adults in the main show. Look, I am
Exactly.
having a
They
hard
messing up
enough
the
time
timeline.
figuring out this show's continuity on its own. I do not need another show full of
thought it was motion
contradictions
stop
to
for a
make it
second.
even harder. But the creators actually did something very clever to make the continuity work. The
Uh-oh, what'd they
seventh
do?
episode of Camp Coral ends with one of the biggest plot twists I've ever seen from the show. So in this episode, SpongeBob actually discovers the Krabby Patty secret formula way before it was supposed to be created by Mr. Krabs. But at the end of the episode, it
Okay.
gets accidentally destroyed by Sandy, and then we get this mind-blowing scene.
Niggas rewriting the story.
This is Little Cheeks calling Big Cheeks. Come in, Big Cheeks. Over. Affirmative, Little Cheeks. This is Big Cheeks receiving you from the future. How are things going in the past? Your
All right,
plan worked
Sandy.
perfectly.
Nah, as
The
kids, we was
formula
watching.
worked out before Mr. Plankton could
It,
catch
yo,
it. Now it can be safe
Total Drama
and
Island was not
discovered
meant for
in
us,
the
bro.
future.
Like,
I knew
the stuff I was
Sandy
seeing, like, I had a,
right thing to do.
when I had Dish, right? And so that's the directory, whatever. So as a kid, I try to watch certain things. I had to get my mom to unlock, like type in that little password to unlock Total Drama Island. That's how I know I wasn't really supposed to be watching it. It's supposed to be. It said 13 and up, but that was really for like 17-year-olds, yo, because they was macking, you know. They was literally having sex in the back of the cabins, but they was indirectly, you know what I'm saying?
Mission accomplished.
Them adults knew what they was
Time
what they was trying to tell them
Now
kids, bro.
everything can continue just the way it's always been.
This is.
Sandy used time
I was watching
travel to send
softcore,
her
you know what I'm
past
saying?
self to
Nah, it
Camp
definitely
Coral
wasn't.
so that
Characters
she
was
could
walking
make
around
sure
with
the
cleavage,
Krabby Patty
literally.
formula didn't get discovered before it was supposed
Hold on,
to.
but like, who was hold on. who was your, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna show you who I had a crush on. I'm gonna show you. Blanche? No! Yuck! I don't trust you, nigga. I don't trust you, bro. No, bro. You talking about the mean girl with the black hair? You talking about the dumb one? The golf one? Yeah, that's what. Okay. Total drama characters. I'm gonna show you who I. Yes. Hold on, what they? Yo, niggas make everything weird, bro. This one, right? This one, and you talking about the dumb one. You talking about this one. I couldn't stand her at all. Like, something about her was just, oh, you talking about or her? Because there's two different blonde ones. This one, yo, what was her problem, bro? Like, her short shorts was probably like tucked up in her cheeks, bro. Like, she was probably in pain all day trying to look cute or something. Cause like, ain't no way you that evil and that mean, bro. Like, didn't she turn bald? I don't even want to get on her, bro. But I'm gonna show you who my nigga is, bro. Where he at? This my nigga right here, Duncan. I love Duncan, bro. This nigga was cool too, but he was just stupid and big. You can't be stupid and big at the same time. Only Patrick can get away with that shit. You know what I mean? Let's continue. Okay.
They actually figured out a way to
Owen?
make this messed up
Facts.
continuity make sense. Don't you dare tell me this show doesn't care about his continuity.
He was, but
Can I
like,
also just
what was his like little quirk, right? Wasn't he stupid? He got picked on or something, but he was tough.
say that this scene lines up
Owen the big
perfectly
nigga,
with
right?
my television theory. A major part of that theory is that Sandy is actually a spy working for the showrunners and is secretly making sure everything stays on track. And then what do we see a month after I post my theory? Sandy secretly manipulating everyone to keep the show on track. Just gonna give myself a little pat on the back there. But enough
Good job,
gloating.
bro.
What does any of this have to do
being
with
fat
King
and eating.
Poseidon? Well, this proves that
That's
Camp
okay, then.
Coral
That's
and
his
the
business.
movie that sets it up are in an alternate timeline. The
know what
events
I'm saying?
that
I
have
ain't
taken
judging,
place
bro.
in the show are not the same events in this movie. The continuity errors like Sandy and SpongeBob meeting, or Poseidon being the king of the sea instead of Neptune, can be explained by this shift in the timeline. So there you
Okay.
go. King Poseidon and King Neptune are from completely separate timelines. That's why we never see any reference to King Poseidon in the show.
Every time they had an
that
eating
is
challenge,
the
my guy
Neptune
passed
theory.
it for his
Huh.
team and
I mean,
flying.
that
I
wasn't so hard. I
remember.
guess I'm done
Okay.
here.
Yeah, he's clutch.
Neptune stirred up.
Then he can
quite
go
a
ahead and
deal
eat that
tonight.
then. You know what I'm
Must be
saying?
mad
Shout out,
about
big boy.
something.
That's silly. Everyone knows Poseidon is ruler of the undersea. Everyone knows Poseidon is ruler of the undersea.
Okay.
Why can't anything ever be easy?
I don't know, bro. I make it easy for us. You lose me, my nigga. The chef was funny.
This is
Yes,
the clip
bro.
that really made me decide.
He was
to make
always
this
mad
theory.
for, like,
The
no
beginning of
reason.
Season 5, episode 19, Spongehead.
He's probably mad 'cause he
shows two
couldn't
fish
cook, bro.
arguing
They was
over
making him
whether
in chef
Neptune or
away.
Poseidon is the real ruler of the sea. It's like the creators are
Strong
directly
chin
telling
there.
us that both of these
Hold on.
characters
Let me
somehow
allow
exist
that.
in the same
Huh.
timeline, and it's our job to figure out how the puzzle pieces fit together.
I don't know why they're trying to block your
let's take a
message,
look.
nigga.
Despite both of these characters having similar appearances and personalities, there is one very important difference between them. Poseidon doesn't have powers. We've seen many times that King Neptune has magical
Don't lie to me.
abilities that he can use at any time.
Even the bald
without a
nigga
trident.
light his
But
spear
in
on
the
fire.
entire third SpongeBob movie, we never see Poseidon use any powers or magical abilities.
Oh, he's a fraud.
Except for lighting up his trident, but
Oh,
all he
there
has
you
to
go.
do for that is just flip a switch. And we know from
What is
the
up with
episode
this
Trident
nigga?
Trouble that you don't even need to be a god to use the trident. And at
Yeah.
the end of the third movie, we find out Poseidon is actually in terrible
Yo. Get this nigga off my
shape.
screen.
If you
Like,
remember at the end of the
before I
episode,
get mad,
Neptune's
I'm starting to get
spatula,
angry.
Neptune briefly turns
Stop playing with my
SpongeBob
boy,
into a god. And
Neptune.
we can see that having god powers
The
gives
bald
you a
nigga
perfect
and
body.
this
So why is
sloppy built
Poseidon in
nigga
such
needs to get off
terrible
my
shape?
screen, bro.
Because he doesn't
Like,
actually
literally.
have powers. Only Neptune does. Even Neptune's wife,
Nigga ain't had no
Cleopa's
teeth or
wife,
nothing.
has to use technology to zap someone, unlike Neptune, who only has to use his finger in the exact same episode. He is clearly the only one with powers, but why? To answer this question,
Explain.
we first have to understand the origins of King Neptune. Now, throughout the show, there is very little information on Neptune's past. I read the Wikipedia, I looked through the comic books, the video games, but I just couldn't find anything that would help me. But then I remembered there are SpongeBob shorts, which are like mini
Ooh.
episodes that only air once, usually to promote something. So I started looking to see if there were any that could help us, and lo and behold, there is a SpongeBob short called The Story of King Neptune.
How do you find
Yeah,
this?
I guess
What
that
is
could
up
be
with this
helpful.
nigga, bro?
This short is about SpongeBob
This nigga
telling
Batman
Patrick
level
the origins
detective.
of King Neptune, but it's not entirely clear whether it's true.
The story of King Neptune. When
Okay.
King Neptune was a little Neptune, his
Oh my
mother
God.
set him adrift in a river, and he floated along.
This nigga King Neptune had a
radioactive
hard
being
life.
to Earth. An alien appeared and anointed the infant with super Neptune fluid.
Is that really the origin of King Neptune?
Sure.
So King Neptune was abandoned as a baby and
Right.
then given his powers by aliens. But
Right.
SpongeBob is holding an upside
So what
down
about the other
comic
King
book,
Neptune, that
so it
the
feels a
weird
lot
one
like
underneath the
something he
world?
just made up.
I
And
mean,
SpongeBob is not the
in that
most
one movie.
reliable narrator. Unless there's something in the story that we can definitively prove, I don't think we can use it for a theory. Like, do
The one
you
with the-
really
with the little
expect me to
brain.
believe that Neptune got his powers from aliens?
He got swirled with some
we've never
Neptune
even
juice.
Seen aliens in the
What?
show before, except we have. And they just
I'm
so
the type of
happen
nigga
to
to spread-
also live in a city.
That's what I'm
called
talking about.
Atlantis. Season.
What? This is
And they just so happen to also live in a city called.
this nigga built so crazy, bro. That's not even a
Atlantis.
fish at that point.
Season 5, Episode 12, Atlantis Square Pantis, we see another completely different Atlantis, the lost city of Atlantis, a city that's home to a race of aliens.
Right.
The Atlantean aliens traveled billions of light years to come to this
Monarch.
planet and build their city.
For reasons unknown, this great city disappeared one day, but no ruins were ever found. All the inventions you take for granted were given to us by the Atlanteans.
They were a peaceful race of aliens who shared their technology, but then mysteriously disappeared for some reason.
Right.
And take a guess what we find when we look inside of that city. A
Talk to me.
massive sculpture of King Neptune. That story about aliens giving Neptune his powers doesn't sound so far-fetched now, does it? And that's not all we find.
So
Neptune's Ascension, the only surviving painting from the great lost city of Atlantis.
they talking about Neptune like he
Painting
Jesus.
created
So
by the Atlanteans
Ascension.
called Neptune's Ascension, aka Neptune ascending to his god status by being given powers by the Atlantean aliens. The story is definitely referencing this. There are too many connections for
Okay.
this to be a coincidence. So
Starting to
even
make
though it's
sense.
being told by SpongeBob and details like the aliens' appearance are wrong, the story itself is probably based on truth. And there's also a lot of
Right.
evidence to support the idea that Neptune was abandoned as a baby. In Clash of Triton, Neptune is watching a soap opera in his bedroom and gets upset when his wife turns it off.
Oh, Neptune.
Oh,
Surely
Neptune.
This isn't the behavior befitting a king, doing nothing but watching daytime television.
So a nigga can't relax, yo.
Just about to meet a
You see, bro, been in the gym. You know what I'm
In
saying?
the
Big
soap
buff got
opera,
gold plated
Rochelle
wrists, so
was
he can't
just
watch his
about
little
to
soap
meet her
opera.
biological
Oh,
parents.
wife, yo.
Maybe the real reason why
Watch
Neptune's
out, bro.
so invested in the soap opera is because he's never met his biological parents either. There's even
Oh,
tissues
see, look,
of
he's just
the
living.
next
He's just
room
living
as
through
if
the
he's
screen a
been
little
fine.
bit.
And the idea that Neptune was
She gonna shut
abandoned
him
as a
down?
baby works perfectly with the mythology in the show. Neptune is the Roman god of the sea, but he is the only reference to Roman mythology in the show. Everything else we see is from Greek mythology. In the episode Trident Trouble,
Oh, I ain't know
we
it go
see
that
a
deep.
Greek chorus.
Behold, we are the Greek chorus. We narrate this epic tale.
Neptune once mentioned
What
Zeus, the Greek god of thunder.
So I say, look, Zeus, either you come up with more money, or Neptune walks.
He
I forgot
also
Neptune
mentions
is a-
Apollo, the
is a
Greek god
god.
of the sun.
Now behold,
Like a Greek god.
my beloved home of Atlantis.
That's that Krabby Patty episode.
Prize worthy of Apollo.
Even in the city of Atlantis where Neptune lives, there's a building
That
named
nigga be
the
eating straight
Poseidon,
sardines
clearly
for
named
his
after Poseidon.
whole life.
So
That
Neptune
Krabby Patty
is
changed his
clearly
whole
the
his whole
outsider
motive.
here, which is why he was abandoned as a baby. But if the sea is actually ruled by Greek mythology, then Poseidon should be the true heir to the throne. Why is
Right.
Neptune the king in the show? Because after Neptune was given his god powers by aliens, he returned to Atlantis and stole the throne from Poseidon. This would explain.
So is that why
there's so
why bro
much
went downhill, got all
confusion over
out
who
of
the
shape and
real
lost his
king
teeth and
is.
everything?
Neptune stirred up quite a gale tonight.
Everyone knows Poseidon is ruler of the undersea.
Legally, Poseidon should be the king, but Neptune took it by force. And
Yeah.
that's not all he took from Poseidon. Neptune's wife, Queen Amphitrite, is the goddess of the sea. The Greek goddess of the sea, aka the wife
So,
of Poseidon.
he
God
beat
damn,
on-
Neptune stole his wife and his throne. That was cold. And
Neptune is a
eventually,
dog,
everyone
yo.
did
What's up with
recognize
him?
Neptune as the rightful king. The pink fish who seemed adamant about Poseidon being the king completely changes her mind one season later in Clash of Triton.
Oh, wait a minute, King Neptune is coming here? Oh, I'm a huge fan of the royal
Nah, don't switch up, yo.
just love everything.
Literally, he
And that
He
is
that
the
nigga?
real story of King Neptune. The reason why Poseidon is king in the third movie is probably because in that timeline, Neptune was never given his god powers, so he never stole the throne from Poseidon. Although, seeing as how Poseidon turned Atlantis into a big casino cash grab city, maybe it's a good
beat
thing
Buddy and
Neptune
took his
took
shorty
over.
just to force him to make it a bankrupt casino.
And that is the Neptune theory. That was a tough one, but we are finally done. See you next time, guys. Wait, why is Poseidon City called the Lost City of Atlantic City?
The Lost City of Atlantic City.
I mean, the Atlantic City Park makes sense. That's a reference to the real-life Atlantic City, but why is it called the Lost City? There is nothing lost about the city. It seems like
Granny, what you sipping on?
Why is it called the Lost City? There is nothing.
Okay. I feel like I've seen her before. She was in that one episode. I can't remember, but go ahead, Granny. Get your drink on. Get your slots in. 777. You know what I'm saying?
The other reference to a lost city of Atlantis is the one with the
gold
aliens
balloons
that gave Neptune his powers. Nope. I don't care. I'm done with this theory. I don't need to answer every single little question. I am 100% done.
Right. Don't lie to me, nigga.
Fine, okay. One more quick part just to tie up all the loose ends, and then I am done.
Yeah, you can't halfway do the job,
before
nigga.
the Atlantean aliens
Let me know.
mysteriously disappeared, they shared their technology with the creatures of the sea. I think
that's how they got the shell phone? I even peeped that when they showed it. The shell phone, even art. So is that how? So remember Squidward in that when they was making that sculpture? Is that technically where he got it from? The aliens as well. False teeth, light bulbs.
Technology with the creatures of the sea.
Weaponry.
I think the self-proclaimed gods of the sea got their technology, like tridents and their other weapons, from the
So are the real gods the aliens?
In fact, the Atlantean guards even use golden tridents as their weapons. That's why the gods named their city Atlantis, to pay tribute to the Atlanteans that gave them their technology. But all of that changed when Poseidon became king of the sea. He betrayed the Atlanteans and used their own weapons against them to conquer their home and turn it into a casino city. That's why Poseidon City is called the Lost City, even though it's not lost. It's referencing the Atlantean city that was conquered by Poseidon. And the reason why the Atlanteans gave god powers to some random abandoned baby in the main timeline was so that Neptune could take the throne from Poseidon and prevent him from conquering the aliens.
So was their whole plan the whole time?
The reason why the Atlantean city mysteriously disappeared was because they hid it so no one could ever try and conquer them again. And that is the Neptune theory. I am done.
Fire.
Okay, that's another one done. Thank you so much for watching. I've been your host, Alex. We've got more on the way. I'll see you next time.
Thank you for telling me, sir. Watch out. This nigga want to tell me about his real life again. I ain't going, nigga.